Okay, so let's get into it. Today, we're doing a deep dive into what has to be one of America's most genuinely chilling spots, the Lemp Mansion in St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh, yeah. That place.
Right, it's not just, an old building. It's got this history that's just soaked in tragedy. So much so that people say it's incredibly haunted, maybe even cursed. So our mission today is really to unpack that family story, all the layers of it, and look at the supernatural stuff that keeps getting reported there, inside those walls.
It's fascinating, isn't it, how some places just seem to absorb the events that happen there, especially intense human suffering. The Lemp Mansion's reputation, I mean, it goes beyond just local spooky stories. It feels like it might be a real reflection of all that pain sort of trapped there.
Yeah.
And the depth of the tragedies we're going to talk about. It's pretty unsettling.
Definitely. So, okay, to get the dark, just got to start with the light, right?
Yeah.
Back in the mid-1800s, the Lemp family, they were huge.
Absolutely dominant.
Building this massive brewery empire. Their beer was everywhere. And they lived in this incredible luxury, a 33-room mansion, just pure Gilded Age opulence.
Right, the picture of success.
Yeah.
Wealthy, powerful.
Exactly. But that picture, it didn't stay bright for long.
No, that's what's so striking. Behind all that grandeur, this really disturbing pattern started. Madness, death, emerged pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And it cast this shadow that, well, it seems like it never really left.
And it was brutal. Just one violent death after another. And so many happened right in the mansion.
Yeah.
First, it was Frederick Lemp. He was the heir, supposed to take over everything.
The golden boy.
Yeah. And in 1904, he dies. Mysteriously. Supposedly a heart failure, but he's only 28.
So young. That alone is rough for any family.
But then his father, William Lemp Sr.,
Yeah.
he was apparently just shattered by Frederick's death.
Utterly devastated by all accounts.
A few years later, he walked into his office in the mansion one morning, picks up a gun, and kills himself.
Right there in the house. And the tragedy just kept rolling.
It did. Then his daughter, Elsa, she had a really troubled marriage, apparently. She also committed suicide.
Not in the mansion, that one, but still part of that pattern.
True, but then another son, Billy Jr., he did shoot himself in his bedroom. Again, inside the mansion walls.
Just unbelievable.
But it wasn't even over then. There was another son, Charles Lemp. He ended up living alone in that huge mansion for years.
Yeah, and the stories about him are really strange. People said he got super paranoid.
Whispering to things people couldn't see, really isolated.
Yeah. And then one morning in 1949, first he killed his dog, his own dog.
Oh, that's awful.
And then he killed himself, the last Lemp to die in the mansion.
Wow. So let's just count that. That's 5 family members, violent deaths, most of them right there.
Exactly. 5. When you just lay it out like that,
Yeah.
the sheer number, the concentration of tragedy in one place, one family, you can see why the house got its reputation. It wasn't just bad luck anymore. People started saying it was cursed, or more vividly, alive with the restless dead.
Gives you chills just saying it.
And it really brings up that big question, doesn't it? Can a building, a structure, actually hold on to that kind of intense, repeated trauma, that dark energy?
Like an imprint.
Yeah, maybe an energetic imprint. Or maybe it's more about how, collective grief and all the storytelling around it sort of imbues a place with this really powerful, almost tangible atmosphere. It feels heavy.
Well, people definitely seem to feel something.
Yeah.
Because today, the Lemp Mansion is still standing. It's a restaurant and an inn.
Yeah, people eat dinner there. They sleep there.
I know. People actually stay overnight. Knowing all that history, it kind of blows my mind.
Yeah.
What makes someone want to sleep in a place like that?
That's a great question, and maybe it's the stories themselves. Because what's really compelling, I think, is how consistent the reports are. From staff, from guests, over years.
It's not just random weird occurrences.
Not usually. The stories often echo each other. You hear about physical stuff, right? Objects moving, plates suddenly flying off tables, glasses shattering when no one's near them, that kind of thing.
Okay, that's creepy.
Then there are the environmental shifts, these cold spots that just roam the hallways, like invisible pockets of ice, even when the heating's on.
Ooh, yeah, I've heard of those. Like walking through a cold shadow.
Exactly. And visually, people report seeing figures, usually described as being in old-fashioned clothes, just sort of gliding silently across a room and then fading. Right into a wall sometimes.
Wow. Just vanishing.
But maybe the most terrifying, the really specific one, guests waking up in the middle of the night and seeing a man standing at the foot of their bed, pale face,
Yeah.
hollow eyes, holding a revolver.
No way.
Yes. And it's widely believed or interpreted as William Lemp Sr., the father who shot himself. Like he's trapped, reliving that final moment over and over.
Oh my God, can you even imagine waking up to that specific image, a man with a gun?
It's incredibly disturbing. The consistency of that particular sighting across different people, different times, it really highlights how these narratives can get embedded in a place.
It makes you wonder, what kind of emotional scar tissue could trap a spirit in a loo like that? So specific, so horrifying. And speaking of deeply disturbing, let's talk about the attic, because many people think the most unsettling legend of the whole mansion comes from up there.
Yes. The attic, this is where some of the hidden family shame seems to come into play. There are these persistent rumors, stories really, that the Lemp family hid a child away up there.
Hid them? Why?
Well, the story goes it was a boy born with severe physical deformities and possibly born out of wedlock, which would have been a huge scandal then.
Okay.
They called him the Monkey Face Boy. Horrible name. And apparently they were so ashamed they kept him locked in the attic his entire life.
Locked away, never let out.
Never allowed to leave that room, according to the legend. He lived and died alone up there, utterly isolated.
That's just heartbreaking and cruel.
It really is. And when you think about the family's other secrets, the suicides, the internal suffering, keeping this child hidden away fits into that larger pattern of, well, profound dysfunction and hidden pain.
And that isolation, that despair.
Yeah.
You have to think it left a mark up there.
Oh, people certainly believe it did, because guests, even today, report hearing things specifically from the attic.
What kind of things?
Footsteps, like small feet running back and forth, the sound of small hands, like slamming against the wall.
Slamming, like trying to get out.
Maybe. Or just frustration, desperation, and sometimes a faint whimpering or crying sound. Mournful.
Oh, man. It's like you could almost feel the loneliness just from the description.
It gets even more unsettling visually. Some people absolutely swear they have seen something up there.
Seen what?
A small figure. In the dark, crawling across the floor on all fours, moving quickly, sometimes just seeing glinting eyes in the darkness.
Okay, that's nightmare fuel right there.
It really makes you ask, what kind of psychic or emotional impact does a life lived in that kind of isolation and misery have on a physical place? Especially one room within this big, grand house that was also so full of its own kind of emotional emptiness.
A deep imprint of suffering, maybe? Residual energy.
Something like that, perhaps.
Yeah.
Tied to those intense, unresolved feelings.
It's seriously creepy. And look, this isn't just stuff from, 100 years ago. These stories persist. Let's bring it closer to now. There was this paranormal investigation team back in 2017. They stayed the night.
Right. I remember reading about this.
And one of their experiences was pretty intense, wasn't it?
Yeah, one investigator in particular, a guy named Tom, he had a really rough time, especially in the attic.
What happened?
He was up there around 2 a.m., said he heard this soft crying sound coming from a corner.
Crying, like the whimpering people report.
Exactly. So he goes towards it with his flashlight. And just for a second, he sees a figure dart across the room, away from the light.
What did it look like?
His description was, well, chilling. He said it wasn't quite human. Small, pale, and he mentioned twisted limbs.
Twisted limbs.
Yeah.
Matching the deformed child legend.
It lines up, doesn't it?
Okay, and here's the bit that really gets me. He had his camera running, right?
He did. Standard procedure for investigations.
And apparently the camera caught something. But when they reviewed the footage later, the image was all blurred and distorted, right where the figure should have been.
Like the camera itself couldn't quite capture it clearly.
Yeah. What do you even make of that? Is it tech malfunction or is it something else? Like the phenomenon itself resisting being recorded?
It's intriguing, isn't it? You could argue equipment failure under stress, or maybe some kind of energy interference. Or maybe it points to something genuinely elusive, something that operates just outside our ability to easily document it.
Whatever it was,
Yeah.
it had a big impact on Tom, right?
Huge. Apparently he packed up and left the mansion that morning, said he would never go back.
Wow. An experienced investigator.
Yep, someone who presumably seeks this stuff out. Whatever he saw or felt up there was enough to make him say, never again. That speaks volumes, I think.
It really does. So after all of that history, all of those stories, the Lemp Mansion is still there. People go for dinner, weddings, tours.
Right, functioning as a business, chandeliers, nice tablecloths. Looks normal on the surface.
But underneath, all the accounts suggest that, well, the darkness, it never really left.
No, it seems anchored there. Visitors still very consistently report those feelings, dizziness out of nowhere, that distinct feeling of being watched.
Even when they're alone in a room.
Especially then.
Yeah.
Hearing footsteps on the stairs or in the hall when there's absolutely no one else around, it's not always, a full apparition.
Yeah.
Often it's just this persistent, unsettling background noise, this undercurrent.
Decades after the last Lemp died there.
Decades later, it lingers.
And for the people who are brave enough, or maybe foolish enough, to actually stay overnight in the inn, there's always that chilling possibility, isn't there? That they might hear it too. That sound from the attic.
That soft, pitiful sound.
Yeah, like a child's voice whispering, "Don't leave me here. Don't leave me alone."
Ugh,
Yeah.
It's just, yeah. This whole deep dive into the Lemp Mansion, I think it really shows how some places, they don't seem to heal. Or maybe they can't. The sheer intensity of the tragedies that happen there, it's like they're trapped. Caught in the walls, maybe repeating, festering, feeding on themselves almost.
Creating this atmosphere that just resonates with all that suffering.
Exactly. It's a really powerful example, I think, of how the past isn't always past. How it can exert this really palpable presence right here, right now.
So what does this all mean for you listening right now? Well, if you ever find yourself in St. Louis and you're tempted to check out this historic, infamous mansion,
Be prepared.
yeah, remember, you wouldn't just be stepping into a piece of history. You'd be stepping into a house where, if these accounts are anything to go by, the dead are still very much in residence.
They still live there, in a way.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What other places are out there? Holding on to their own dark histories, their own tragedies,
Yeah.
maybe silently unfolding around us, just waiting for someone to listen.
Please subscribe to our channel. Your support motivates us to create even more great content for you. Thank you so much.